guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're doing a little experiment with solid perfume. So I've watched videos before, and I've made my own DIY products for the bath and for skincare, and I've made lip balms and that kind of thing. But one thing I have never done is solid perfumes, and I thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity. So what are you going to need? It's very simple, actually. So you're going to need some beeswax pellets. These are kind of the thing that are going to help your perfume solidify, okay? These ones I ordered from Sapphire Blue, which is a local company, but I'm sure you can also order these on Amazon, okay? You're also going to need a carrier oil. Now, you can use like a shea butter or a sweet almond oil if you want, but I'm going to use coconut oil just because I find it's really soft and smooth, and I like the way it applies, and I think that's going to be nice in a solid perfume. You're also going to need your fragrance. So today I'm not using essential oils, I'm using cosmetic grade fragrance oils. So I'm going to do two fragrances. One is very floral, and it's going to be lilac and violet combined, which smells very, very lovely. The other is kind of going to have a tropical sort of vibe, sort of like what you would expect to smell if you were in the tropics and the breeze was blowing. So I have a cranberry peach vanilla, orange blossom, and citrus delight, okay? And this one is Leffler's. This came from a store in Woodstock called Maya. The others are all from Piping Rock Oils, okay? So that's where you can order those. Okay, so I had to go and terminate a fly that was driving me nuts that got in here. So we talked about your fragrance. What else are we going to need? Well, you're going to need a little container to put your solid fragrance in. Now, these are just little plastic ones that used to have, they fit together kind of like that, and they used to have, I think, glitter or something in it that I just saved after I was done with them. They're the perfect size for this. You can also get larger ones that you can order off Amazon that are like a metal with like a clear lid. I do prefer those, but I just didn't have any of those handy. Okay, so we're going to use these, and the key is we're going to make sure we let our oil cool a little bit before we go pouring it in here so that we don't melt our plastic and end up with a calamity. Other thing you're going to need is a double boiler. So I've got a little tiny pot of water onto a simmer here, as you can see, and I'm just going to put a glass bowl on top, not down in the water, but on top of the water, so that the steam is going to start heating the bottom of this up. And now let's dive in. Let's make some perfume. And I'm going to do it in 2 batches. So my first batch is going to take 1 tablespoon of the beeswax pellets. Okay. And then 1 tablespoon of my coconut oil, which is in this kitchen already turning quite soft. All right, so we're going to put it in there, and I'm just going to use the tip of my knife to start stirring and incorporating things, and you want to stir it until everything has melted away. You'll notice it'll start turning clear. The little beeswax pellets will just kind of vanish, and that's how you know that it is ready to go. In fact, I'm going to turn my heat off. Pretty sure there's enough residual heat from that boiling water. And we're just going to keep stirring until they're completely melted and combined, at which point we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool for 30 seconds to a minute before we add our oil. We just don't want to put all our fragrance oil in and have the fragrance completely dissipate on us. So I will be back with you when this is fully melted, and I will show you what it looks like, and then we'll add our oils and we'll get it poured into our container. Alrighty, so I would say it took no more than a couple of minutes of stirring to get that completely dissolved. And you can see it just looks like water in the bottom of that bowl, and that little black speck is just an imperfection in my bowl. It's not a floater, but if you do have any floaters, for whatever reason, just get them out of there at this point. And now we're going to let it sit for 30 seconds to a minute, not long enough to start setting up, but just long enough to take some of that immediate heat out of it. Okay, we've been cooling away here for about a minute. Bowl is still plenty warm, which is good, but it's not going to, I'm not worried that it's going to melt our container when we pour it in. So on the issue of fragrance, it's really more of a personal preference. The general rule, I guess, for each batch of solid perfume would be between 8 and 15 drops of oil. How you add them, whether you use one oil or several and in what combination, is totally up to you. Because I want a really dominant tropical fragrance, I'm going to add the majority, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops of my citrus oil. Oh, it smells so nice already. 2 drops of orange blossom oil. 2. Okay, got a third one in there, but that's okay. Give it a little stir. Smelling very pretty, but I do want it to be a little more on the sweet side. So that is where my cranberry peach vanilla oil comes in. And I'm going to go 1 drop at a time with this. Maybe 1, okay. Smelling good. I think I'm going to go a little bit more with this. Just kind of go 1 or 2 drops at a time until you find what you like. Come on. There we go. Now, very pretty, and we are at about 15 drops of oil, I would say at least. However, I think I still want it to smell a little bit more intensely. So I'm going to add some more of my citrus oil. I'm just going to keep playing with it until it's of an intensity that I think is going to work when it's solidified. And rubbed on your pulse points here. All right. The nose knows, so let's give it a test. Oh, now that's very pretty. Okay, so now the moment of truth. We're going to just take it and we're going to pour it into our little container. Okay, very carefully, trying not to make a mess. There we go. And this actually makes more perfume than one of those little containers can hold. So I'm going to use my second container and I'm going to fill it up. Get a little spatula here because there's a little bit left. Oops, use it all up. There we go. Okay. So it's already starting to solidify, and that's all we have to do. Now we just have to leave it, and I will bring you back to have a look at what it looks like once it's actually solidified, and then we'll give it the actual test and see how intense the fragrance is. Okay? Okay, so our perfume has cooled, and as you can see, it's a nice little size. It's a good size to toss in your purse. It smells so pretty. Wow, and it's a beautiful, pristine finish on top. This one here, as you can see, when I was scooping it out, there was a little dollop that was starting to settle, or solidify rather, before I scooped it right in. So it has a little bit of a mop top there, but that's okay. So let's give it a try and see. Now it's very silky, very smooth. It's melting easily under my finger, but it's not oily. Oh my goodness. That smells so pretty. And I think having used the coconut oil in there instead of like shea butter or almond oil just adds to the fragrance, because it really does have the smell of a tropical breeze. It's just really lovely. It's almost like a coconut and almost like a sunscreen smell, like a pleasant, sweet sunscreen smell with a citrus undertone. It's really, really pretty. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. As you can see, super easy once you've got the stuff. And I mean, a tablespoon of this and a tablespoon of your oil. I mean, can you imagine how many batches of solid perfume you could make? If you were wanting to give inexpensive gifts to people, you can get some containers at the dollar store, order some from Amazon, spend a Friday or Saturday afternoon whipping up a gigantic batch of this, and you would have tons of these to give out for birthdays or Christmas or whatever it may be. So Hope you've enjoyed this, and let me know if you try it. If you watch this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any future videos that we're going to be offering. And we'll see you back in the kitchen another day. Bye now.